Hello and welcome to part 5 of this car modeling tutorial series, and in this tutorial we're going to be going through modeling of the car finally. So there's a couple of things that I forgot to show you in part 4, so I'll go ahead and show you right now. The first thing I forgot to show you is how to reduce the opacity of your blueprints. So if you press N on the keyboard and come to the properties region over here, and basically just go to the front, then you can see these opacity levels here. I reduced mine to 0.4 for all of my blueprints. The back also 0.4, for the side 0.4, for the top also 0.4. Here you can do that if you find any problem with the visibility of your mesh on top of the blueprints, so you can reduce that using that. The next thing I forgot to show you also is how to pack your images into the blend file. Sometimes you may want to switch the reference these blueprints into different folders, and when you open up Blender you will not see your images because the directory has changed. So if you want to pack them, you just click on this icon over here, and it actually packs this image blueprints into the blend file. So even if you delete these images from your hard drive and open up Blender, the images shall still be there, because the blend file of this part 4 or part 5 shall be able to shall be carrying those images. Also, I also would like to show you how to save. So when you come to file, hit save as, and you can basically type here part 5 or modeling, part 5 modeling, and hit enter, then save as blend file, and you've already saved your file into your hard drive. Finally, we can start modeling. Now we used this cube over here. If you check in our outliner, we have a cube. So we used this cube initially to measure the blueprints and be able to set them up correctly, and it has already served its purpose, so we can be able to delete it. Or if you do not want to delete it, you can just toggle its visibility off here in the outliner, its selectability off, and its renderability, and you cannot be able to see it. It's gone. But since it will not serve any other purpose in my scene, so I think I just delete it. Just hit delete and then enter to confirm that you want to delete it. Then go to the top view and make sure that your cursor is in the center by pressing Shift C to snap the cursor to the center, or you can also press Shift S and just say cursor to select to center. And now the first thing you're going to do is add a plane object, a plane mesh. So we have 3 ways to add in Blender. You can press T and create a plane, or you can here in the tool shelves, and also you can add it from here, plane, and also there's a shortcut, Shift A, and you add your plane. I'll push my plane to the beginning of my bonnet. We call it the bonnet or the hood of the car, and I'll start from here. I will be modeling my car using the different parts, modeling the different parts and then attaching them to form the whole car. The car in real life is made up of different parts, so I'll try and replicate that by modeling the different parts of the car separately, then going ahead and making sure that they are closely tight and fit together so that they form the final object. So the first thing I'll do with my plane is tab into edit mode, then go ahead and press Ctrl R on your keyboard to add a loop cut, then add a loop cut there, and I'll delete this half on my right side and delete it, these vertices. Then go to object mode and come to the properties panel, go to the modifier tab over here, and I'll add a modifier. I'll add a mirror modifier and turn on clipping. I'll now start begin modeling and shaping this plane to the hood. So don't mind this side, just try and model using one side, because you're going to be using the mirror modifier. So just model my right side, because the car is symmetrical. It should actually be quite nice when you finish. It should look quite beautiful when they're about to complete the end of this project. I'll go ahead and add another loop cut, probably the beginning of this place over here, and then so I have that, and I'll switch to 3, which is my side view, and you can basically see that this one is quite off. So I'll select everything and pull them up so that my blueprint at here touches that point, and then it should curve like this, so that it meets with this point. So my hood on my bonnet should curve to meet this portion over here. So it should curve like this to, and then comes up and meets that. So we'll need a couple of edges, or a couple of vertices over here, so that you can be able to curve it quite nice. So I'll add like 3 here, and I'll add 2 here, so that I have enough of them. And I'll go ahead and pull this first faces to somewhere, maybe probably there. Here I'm just going to do some guesstimation, because if you take a close look at our blueprints, we have this portion over here that is raised like a bump. So this portion that's like a bump is this portion over here, this portion that comes to our headlights. So we cannot be able to like get the correct measurement for the hood at the top and the front of the car. So we just have to like guesstimate where the curve is. So just come up with a clean curve, and it should look quite well when we use the perspective to check it out. So just wing it for some time, and then it should work. Let me show you. So we have that curve. I'll pull this, sorry for that, I'll pull this here. I'm using A to deselect, to select and deselect everything, B to box select, and then just pulling the transform widget controls. So B to box select, then drag, something like that. I find this quite the hardest part of this car. So we have that curve, which is quite nice. I'm actually liking it. It's going the way I planned it. The next thing we'll do is create this line over here that comes down. So I'll add a loop cut from there, and now I'll just push these vertices to fit, to just like line up with the model. Yes, something like that. I'll also push this one to have that like corner like thing, so that curve like, and then you can see that we're having also some problems with this portion. So we just have to like push these vertices to line up with our blueprint. Yes, and I finally think it's quite well done. So the next thing we'll do is go switch to the face select mode, and select this face, this face, this face, and that face. Yes, so that face, and extrude them up. a bit, so I'll extrude them by hitting E and the extrude button. Just pull them up a bit, somewhere like there, and we have that, and we have that portion, which is this thing that you're trying to create over here, this raised thing on the hood. I don't know its I don't know its name, so that's why I'm saying thing. So if you know its name, then that's good for you, but because I don't know its name, so I'm just gonna say this thing over here. And the way I did my first one, I think I'll do it differently this time. So what I did for the first time, I switched to my edge and my vertex point select mode and switched to 3. This is where I pushed these back edges closer to my points. Just push them back so that they become like very close, so that I get that kind of like it's raising, that gradient feel, that growing feel, that it's raising from there and then coming up. But I also tried and pushed these two. Let me push these two so that it also creates some bumpy feel, so something like that. So so I kind of liked it the first time, so it's like coming like this down and then raised up to that feel, and that's how I came up with my first modeling. So I like the way it is right now. Yeah, I like it right now. So the next thing I'll do is tab into edit mode, go to the face select mode and select this face and extrude it on the inside. So I'll just push it back like this, and then go to 3 and scale it down, maybe something like that. Push it in and scale it down so that I get that, so that I get something like that. So it's too much scaled in, maybe can scale it out a bit. Yeah, scale it out a bit also, at least it doesn't bring that much different. Let me scale it on the Z axis some more, and I get that. So one thing I didn't like about this one is that it kind of like made my edge quite thin. So I'll switch to the edge select mode, select this edge and that edge, which is just these two edges, then extrude them and scale them in, then take the top part and push it a bit down, and then maybe take this one, push it back a bit, maybe switch to point select mode and push it down a bit, then so that I have some sort of thickness on this, so that I can select this part and then extrude it back some more like that, and maybe even push it in a bit, something like that, so that I have that kind of thickness on that front part. And I'll select everything and press Ctrl N to flip the normals, and you can actually see that it's coming up quite nicely, more than I expected the first time. So the next thing I'll do is go to face select mode, and I'll try and create this dipping here, this dipping that is in here. So this one is raised and this one is dipped a bit, so that's what I'm trying to create. I'll select those 1 2 3 4 faces and extrude them down, maybe scale them in just a bit, and that's what we get from there. So we cannot be able to see it quite well right now, so I'll add a modifier, subdivision surface modifier, bump the view to 2 and switch it off on that. I'll also add an edge split modifier and a split angle of 60, those are the only modifiers. I'm using 3 modifiers: a mirror modifier, a subsurface modifier, and an edge split modifier. If I turn on the subsurf and turn off edge split, I'm getting this is what I'm getting right now. So when I press T and go to the tools section of the tool shelf, I'm going to go to the shading and smooth this one up, and this is what I get when I smooth things up, and it looks quite nice. I think, yeah, it's quite nice. Not think, but it's quite nice right now. So I'll go to turn off my subsurf there, turn on my edge split, and I'll strengthen some of these edges over here. So I'll turn on this subsurf, and I'll start with this row of edge there. So I strengthen this part, this portion over here, and then I'll also add another loop cut by pressing Ctrl R and then pushing it to the edge. And I'll also I think I can also add another one here. No, let me take that off. I add another one here. Yeah. Let me switch on this two, then take a look at what I've made so far. So far so good, so far so good. I'm liking it. So far so nice. Another look what I'll add is here. Yes, so I'm having some nice things here. What I'm not liking is what I did here. Yeah, maybe if I can add another loop cut on the inside, maybe solve it. Yeah, let me try add another loop cut on the, yes. Yes, I've added another loop cut on the inside of this portion that we extruded back, the first portion, so that we could add some thickness. So I did that, and I can even scale it down a bit, or push it down to add some thickness to the top. Yeah, so I'm thinking that I can do that. Right now I like this, what I've come up with. I like it, so I'll go ahead and continue. Tab into edit mode, but right now I'm going to go select everything, then hide it using H and select here. And I'm still in edit mode in the first one I selected, so I'm just going to add another plane here, and these planes I'm going to just attach them like that. And I'll go ahead now and start on the edge select. I'll start moving this to the specifications of this top part here. I'll even add another loop cut inside here so that I can shape it quite well. If I pull this back, it doesn't pull, so the only thing I'll try to do is leave some gap here, so that there's a gap and it shows that there's a difference, there's a clear difference between the hood and the car part of the body. So I'm trying to model this part that comes like this and then goes down to the front of the car. That's what I'm trying to do right now. So I'll switch to 3, and you can see that plane is quite down, so I'll pull it to that top part there, and then I'll continue on going this side. So I'll extrude it to there, try and reposition all points here, extrude it again, pull it to there, and now I'm going to just go like this. So I'll pull these two down, and I'll pull them again down, and I think that's quite nice up to there. Now I'll add a couple of vertices, 3 vertices down there, and maybe 2 here, and start shaping this to our car. So it's basically just that. You just have to have a nice blueprint, and just follow the blueprint, and then we'll go ahead and start uh, making our own changes after we have come up with the rough draft of our body. So let's do that. Continue, even push this back a bit, so we have that, like that. So basically see it, but it's still flat because we created it on one view. So we have to go like to 3 side view and try and shape the same way we did it, guesstimate using the side. So go to this one. Right now we're not going to guesstimate so much because we have the first one as our guideline, so we just place this one as close as we can to it. Yeah, maybe somewhere there. Then go ahead and continue on doing that till we finish to the last point. I have something to share, maybe a fact. A chicken fun fact. Well, I finished. So I finished. I don't have anything to share. So this is what I have right now, and I think it's coming out quite nice. So what I just need to do is fill out those spaces. So I'm going to go Alt H so that I bring out back my first model and try and reduce that space to be uniform, so that it doesn't become such a huge space that you can peep through and see it's doesn't have an engine inside. Just a small space to show that there's a clear difference between the two objects, that they are different objects. Just a small space, maybe just a small space there. Yes, just a small space, just reduce the space between them. That doesn't look crowding. Let me add a loop cut here. That I push this loop cut to them, then maybe push this back. Still trying to shape. I'm still in the process of trying to shape I'm having problem with this. Still in the process of trying to shape this car into the blueprints, to fit the blueprints accurately. So don't worry about anything. If right now it doesn't go quite well, Control E to add slide to that portion. It doesn't go quite well, you can go ahead and redo it. The beauty of modeling is redoing something over and over until you get to that sweet spot. If it doesn't go well, just don't continue on, just start all over again. I can I can be a witness to that. I have done this model quite a number of times, so it's something that I can tell you. I've done this model a couple of times, and when it doesn't turn out quite well, I go ahead and start again, because some things are just not fixable. So right now I think it's quite nice. If I turn on the sub-surf, you can see that it's coming out quite well. That curve that I wanted to get is there. I can turn off the sub-surf again and go ahead and continue on modeling. So I was to share a chicken fun fact. Chicken fun fact number 1. Do you know that a chicken begin communicating even before they hatch? Like the chicks talk to their mother when they are in their unhatched eggs. Actually, it's quite interesting to find out something about that. Yeah. So chicken do talk. Yeah, chicken do talk. And it's quite nice to actually know that animals do talk to each other, not just humans. Just because we are complex beings doesn't mean that we are the only race or being that talks. Also, the chicken talk to the eggs. Can you imagine a mother talking to a child in the womb or something like that? So the same thing, the chicks do. Sorry for going off topic, but I'm still trying to model this. Still trying to come up with this. So I'm going to delete this row of vertices, then pull this back to somewhere there so that it forms that. Yeah, so I'm getting what I really wanted the first time. Actually done this recording quite a number of times, and it has not gone quite well, so I didn't like that. So what I do is I extrude so that I fill this gap on the front, but I'll extrude and scale it on the x-axis to straighten this row of edges by pressing 0, and I extrude again and just push them together, and they will clip, they will snap to each other, and we have closed off that first portion. So what I know I'll do here is try and reduce the gap between them again. Yes, so push this there, push this bit just like that, push this to the front there. Yeah, let me bring it here. Yeah, something like that will work. So I'll select this portion, then try and pull it down so that it matches, at least matches with this, so that it bounces to this. I hope you're seeing what I'm saying. I'm trying to make sure that there is no a huge gap between this and this versus. So you can basically see that I've created a gap a bit. So I'll go ahead and put it up and push this one to that bit. I'll go to maybe the top view. Maybe I'll add another loop cut here. Then take this and maybe even slide it a bit. Control E, add slide. Maybe push it down. Go to the top. Try and take this now, and Control E. Push it to the side there. Then take that top part and put it down a bit. Then maybe put this down. So I'm having that. I'm still trying to say that I need this to be in level with my this edge over here. So I'll push it down also a bit, and go to the next one. Push it down. Yes, not that down, but a good range maybe there, so that it actually flows like that. And then also this one just a bit down, a bit like that. And then we have this part which I need to push down a bit so that it actually looks much better. So I have that. I'll add a loop cut in this middle and pull it up a bit so that I take this row and push it down so that it forms a bit of more curve when I switch on the subsurf. This is what I'm having so far, and I can say so far so good, so far so nice, so far so beautiful, man. It's nice. It's coming out quite perfect. I didn't expect this, I won't lie, but it's coming out quite nice. So just fixing some points, go ahead and do it. Doesn't have to be perfect the first time. You just have to try and make sure, do it a couple of times so that you get a hang of modeling in Blender. Modeling is all about practice and practice and practice and practice, and knowing how to use the tools to your advantage. So right now I'm liking it, although I'm not liking this edge of vertices. They're not quite straight, so I push them manually. Let me try push them manually here. because they bring some problems that I don't like. Actually, this one is the one that has the biggest problem. So yeah, right now it's fine. So if I switch to my subsurf mode, and I can basically see it's quite nice. So I'll go ahead now and try and model around this portion, and then also try and model around this portion just to get the front done. Let me shape it now to this, shape it to this. So just pull this vertices down to shape it to that, shape it to this radiator hole, I call it that, but I don't know if it's called that way. And then this one I'll try shape it to there. I'll go ahead now and extrude at this point. So I'll extrude it around this. I know this is quite weird, but don't just do it. I done this a couple of times and I found this to be the best way to tackle modeling of this portion. Then just pull it, it snaps, and we have that. And also the same thing that I've done there, I will do for the headlight. So I'll extrude this around here. Yes, and go ahead, go around again. Yeah, and I'll have my last point here, and then I'll take this point and shift select at this point, then say Alt M at last. It's to merge those two vertices there. So I'm having, so when right now I'm having that, not like I'm having that. Push this down a bit. I'm having those two there. Yes, so I'm having this and this as my layout. Right now it's quite nice. I think I'll leave this tutorial here so I can continue in part 6. I don't want to make my tutorials quite long. So thank you for watching, and let's meet in part 6 where we try and finish up the body of our car. Hope you enjoy this video. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos.